So I'm going to need your opinion on this. I don't know if Donald Trump was just playing stupid yesterday or if his brain is kind of just drifting away and he doesn't know the things that he certainly knew during the campaign. Also, I think more importantly, I want to talk a little bit about what his response was to this TPS, GPS nonsense about Ukrainian citizens with temporary protected status. Because he did the thing that he always does, which is, I'm looking into that. We're going to be making a decision real soon, which is just delaying. It's just pushing the media off the question because it's a legitimate answer, except he never does actually do anything. But before I do, I want to remind you that Donald Trump absolutely knows what TPS is. It's not such an obscure federal thing, especially someone who's obsessed with immigration like Donald Trump is. He knows what TPS is. And the reason I know is because the famous moment during the debate with Kamala Harris with they're eating, I want to get the quote right, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people who live there. That moment was about TPS and not Office Space TPS reports. This was about temporary protected status for refugees who come here to escape the horrors in their home country. So the United States and the State Department grants them temporary protective status. Donald Trump knows about it. Remember this moment. It's like a minute 10 from that debate that unfortunately did not conclude with Kamala Harris being president of the United States. Remember this moment to remind you he knows what TPS is.
What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is the
people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
but
television.
But the people
I'm
on television saying their
manager.
dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Every time I see it, it's just, what did we do? What did we do? So here's a press release before I get to the clip of Donald Trump acting like he doesn't know about TV. Oh, I thought you said GPS. I thought you said GPS. Do you mean GPS, the global public square with Fareed Zakaria on CNN, Donald Trump? Is that what you mean? So here is a press release from the Homeland Security Department. Secretary Noem rescinds previous administration's extension of Haiti's temporary protected status. This is on February 20th, 2025, where she credits over and over Donald Trump. So even by the Secretary of Homeland Security's count, Donald Trump knows what TPS is. So when he acts like he doesn't, what's at play here? Here, this continues. President Trump and I are returning TPS to its original status, temporary. Secretary Noem. Today, Secretary Noem vacated a decision by the previous administration to extend Haiti's temporary protected status, TPS, by 18 months. As part of the move, Haiti's TPS will end on August 3rd, 2025, unless extended. This is part of President Trump's promise to rescind policies that were magnets for illegal immigration and inconsistent with law. And as we know, when he was with Janet Mills in the White House, he told the governor of Maine, I am the law, because he believes he is a king. He believes he is a dictator. He believes he has the right to terminate the Constitution of the United States. So here is that moment in the White House, being asked by a reporter about the continuation of the temporary protected status of Ukrainians, and Donald Trump, befuddled as always, just doesn't understand what's happening.
No. We're revoking TPS for the Ukrainians who live here in the U.S.
What about
Are
it?
you considering revoking the TPS status for the more than 200,000 Ukrainians who live here in the U.S.?
What are you saying? I don't-
The Ukrainians that are here in the
Yeah,
U.S.,
yeah.
they're under a TPS status.
On GPS?
TPS, temporary.
Temporary.
Oh, I thought you said GPS.
TPS.
Yeah.
There was some news saying that they were going to be revoked and they were going to be deported from the country. Are you considering that for the
Well, we're not looking to hurt anybody, and we're certainly not looking to hurt them. And I'm looking at that, and there were some people that think that's appropriate and some people don't, and I'll be making a decision pretty soon. Okay?
President Trump said-
But we're not looking to hurt them.
President Trump said-
Especially Ukrainians. They've gone through a lot. Yeah, Peter?
So the clip continues, but I'm gonna say this. The clip continues because Peter Doocy, again, the Nepo baby extraordinaire, had a whole bunch of questions that were meaningless, and this one is about daylight savings time. And the reason I left it in is because I want to show you just how diminished Donald Trump is and how he doesn't say anything about anything. It's remarkable. It goes beyond just word salad. But let's talk about this TPS thing. One, have you ever noticed how much disdain and disrespect Donald Trump shows people with foreign accents who ask him questions? It's a remarkable thing considering 2/3 of his wives were difficult to understand because of their thick accents. I just came to mind. So I really want to throw this to you. What is happening here? Donald Trump clearly knows what TPS is. Is this a delay tactic? Is this him having, maybe he doesn't know because he forgot, because he's in that much of cognitive decline, because of dementia or some early onset? It's not early, he's almost 80. But what is happening here? Is it just to denigrate? Is it just to embarrass this reporter who has an accent that's completely understandable, by the way? It wasn't difficult to discern what he was saying. It certainly didn't sound like GPS, global positioning system, temporary protected status. Anyway, let's get back to this other clip because, you know, in the effort of the White House to put only the best journalists in the room, they've allowed Breitbart, I talked about in a previous video, and Peter Doocy, the Fox News Nepo baby, to ask the questions of real concern for the American people. And here he's asking to finally get to the bottom about this daylight savings time thing. And listen to Donald Trump, who is the president of the United States of America, not have an answer, not give you any indication of what he might be thinking. Well, some people like it, some people don't. It's about 50-50. That means even. Is that what 50-50 means, Donald Trump? Brilliant analysis, sir. Give us more, please.
Yeah, Peter?
The clocks are going to spring forward on Sunday. When are you going to get rid of daylight savings time?
Okay, are you ready? So, this should be the easiest one of all, but it's a 50-50 issue. And if something's a 50-50 issue, it's hard to get excited about it. I assume people would like to have more light later, but some people want to have more light earlier because they don't want to take their kids to school in the dark. And it's very much, it's a little bit one way, but it's very much a 50-50 issue. And it's something I can do, but a lot of people like it one way, a lot of people like it the other way. It's very even. And usually I find when that's the case, what else do we have to do?
How long did he talk? How many words did he say? And he communicated absolutely fucking nothing. Are you ready? Okay, finally, once and for all. Are you ready? As though we're going to get an answer. And then the answer is, it's 50-50. That means it's even. Some people like it. Some people don't. Eggs were expensive. People were tired of paying for expensive groceries. So they elected this fucking buffoon to be president of the United States to solve their economic woes. Make it make sense. And I'm not asking Donald Trump to do it because that's impossible for him. He's a dum-dum. What do you think, though? I would appreciate your participation in this conversation. You can comment below. You can call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. Follow me on social media if That if you love a miserable time, social media is where it's at. And I am there often miserable with you. I am at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there. And I will see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.